This week's Torah portion is called Shalach, which means send. The Heavenly Father tells Moshe to send people to scout the land of Canaan, which is Canaan in English. However, the Hebrew wording seems to imply some exacerbation in the command. It's as if it's not the Heavenly Father's idea, and in fact, he seems to have some apprehension about it. Despite the implied apprehension, Moshe moves forward with the plan. Verses 4 through 16 list the leaders of Israel who Moshe appoints for the task. I invite you to pause and look carefully at this list. Who is missing from the list? Did you find who's missing from the list? We know from the Torah portion called Yitro that Moshe had two sons, Gershom and Eleazar. However, he didn't appoint them into any leadership positions. We also know from the Torah portion called Bamidbar that Moshe's sons were Levi'im, who served alongside Aharon's sons, yet the names of Moshe's sons are missing from all the lists of leaders. We have the names of Aharon's sons in these lists, but not the names of Moshe's sons. Why is this? One can argue that unlike Aharon's role as a priest, Moshe's role as a leader is not supposed to be a dynasty. That, of course, is true. However, it doesn't explain why Moshe didn't appoint his own biological children into any kind of leadership roles, or why their names are blotted out from all of these lists. Instead of bonding with his own biological children, Moshe seems to be bonding with Yehoshua. Let's analyze this dynamic through a filter of parental alienation. We know that Moshe was alienated from his mother Yocheved. Does this mean that his disconnection from his own children is also parental alienation? No. Firstly, Moshe is the one who initiated the estrangement, as we saw in the Torah portion called Yitro. Secondly, even if his sons were to react by refusing contact with him, we learned in the Torah portion called Vayera there's a difference between parental alienation and contact refusal. Parental alienation is unique to situations where the disconnection comes from the child for no valid reason. In this situation, Moshe is the one who disconnects from his children. This is in contrast to Aharon, who is not a victim of parental alienation and has a strong, healthy bond with his own children. We can see the psychological contrast between the two brothers and the effect on their families. Unfortunately, we will see in this week's Torah portion how parental alienation in Moshe's personal life can harm the nation. He moves forward with his plan to send the 12 leaders to scout out the Promised Land, despite the apprehension of the Heavenly Father to this plan. 10 of the leaders concluded that the Promised Land devours its inhabitants, therefore we shouldn't try to settle there. 2 of the leaders, Yehoshua and Caleb, maintain their faith, claiming that the Heavenly Father is on our side, therefore we should move forward in faith. All 12 leaders witnessed the same facts, yet came to very different conclusions. The majority opinion wins out, resulting in one of the darkest moments in Jewish history. The people cry all night long, losing their faith in the Heavenly Father, Moshe, Aharon, and the Promised Land. That night was Tisha B'Av, the 9th of Av, which has become the darkest date on the Jewish calendar. Short term, it turned a 5-week journey to the Holy Land into 40 years of wandering in the desert until all of the men of that generation died. Long term, it has become a night of weeping throughout Jewish history. Many of the worst tragedies in Jewish history have occurred on that date, including the destruction of the First Temple and the Second Temple. This dark moment in Jewish history is such a powerful warning to us how parental alienation can quickly spiral out of control from a personal story into a national tragedy. Next week's Torah portion is called Korach, and we will continue to see the fallout from this incident. If we are all supposed to be equals, then why do Moshe and Aharon keep the top leadership positions for themselves?